Alright, ladies and gentlemen, for our last game of the evening, we're going to have ImmortaLisk versus Angelofsin on Arid Plateau. Apparently all of our Terran players decided not to play tonight. Oh well. What can you do? I mean, come on people, does nobody play Terran anymore? What happened? It used to be all 4 racks and 6 racks and Marine Marauder Medevac death balls and nukes. I mean, come on now. What happened to all my... Where are my Terrans at? I actually started out playing Terran, but switched to Protoss because TAW is boss. And speaking of Protoss, in the top left-hand corner we have ImmortaLisk with the big L, because apparently they're allowed to have ImmortaLisk with a small L. Thank you, Blizzard. Against Angelofsin. I kid. Shoutouts to Medic in Al-Jazz, who's having a bad week. We all feel your pain, believe me. Had a bad lifetime. Anyway, so it looks like ImmortaLisk is walling off his ramp, and it looks like our Zerg player isn't going to 12 or 6 pool or anything crazy like that. Looks like he's just going to play the game normally. I seem to be out of liquids. Anyway, so we've got that going on. We have the Eternal Overlord Scout, who will make it there sometime in January or February of 2015. All of our little fellers right here just kind of chilling. And it looks like we're going to have a 13 pool or a 14 pool from our Zerg player. Yeah, I really wish I could fast forward these games up until like the 5-minute mark where things start to change. But as it stands right now, everything's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. So we're just going to watch our Protoss player there for a second. Conducting other business on the side. Now you can see that there's a little bit of shenanigans going on, so we might see a proxy 4-gate something. See the Overlord there just to make sure he's not blocking the expansion. So now we can see the Gateway Cybercore regular old opening and Zealot being warped out. Always good to be properly protected against any sort of Ling aggression, but it just looks like Angelofsin is going to kind of skip the whole building a bunch of Lings and pushing early, and it is instead going to do the ever so late 22 expand. You know, pretty safe for a Zerg to grab a second this early in the game. You wouldn't expect too much pressure to be put on him too early. Is that a oh, I'm trying to see. I think that's a complete wall off there with a little opening there. So now you can see, I'd really wait. If you want to put early pressure on, wait till you have 4, which is why some people go 2 Gateway, 4 Zealot aggression. So I don't know how much damage 2 Zealots are going to do against a Queen. Maybe. It depends. If they catch the Queen off creep, she'll be slowed down. But it looks like Angelofsin saw that and is preparing for it, and he's building a Roach Warren. I like it. He doesn't have any Lings, though. So a little bit of early Zealot aggression. We're going to see where they go from here. That Roach should be finished in time if this Queen doesn't finish them off. And then is going to put ImmortaLisk in a little bit of a disadvantage. Zealots see the Queen just turn tail, run away. And they're about to see some Roaches, which is going to cause them even more grief. Now they really won't be able to do all that much damage to this hatchery before those Roaches pop up and go. I don't think so. I mean, they'll be able to do a couple hundred damage, but they won't be able to kill it, and the building will naturally heal, and the Queen will just be able to inject them. As we can see, they're trying to cut it down by working their way around the sides, but they're about to get roached. They did not bring their BAM! Easy off roach spray. So, taking a little bit of shield damage, they're just going to retreat, or try and run around them. I mean, if I was ImmortaLisk this early in the game, those Zealots are very valuable. I wouldn't just throw them away like this. You know, that's 2 dudes just spent on almost nothing. They're going to run right smack dab into a Queen. I don't think they'll be able to get anything. Will they even get 1? So they got 1 worker? 3 workers. Not bad. So they got 3 workers, a little bit of a harassment, and gave him good scouting information. He knows there are roaches coming. So he's got his expansion here. It's quite valuable. He's building a cannon. He's got sentries. He's building a gateway to try to... man, he should build that gateway up there. He'd be able to close that off a little bit. Wouldn't protect him from the run-by. But we're going to see what he's going to do from that. So we've got a cabal of roaches here on the way out. Meanwhile, an Evo chamber being built in the background. That was the wrong button. So we'll see. He's going to have to defend this because if he loses this expansion, he's going to be in bad shape. And it's a lot of roaches. It's a lot of roaches. So we're going to see how his force field play is based on that. He's actually doing pretty good. He's chased off the roaches. He's just got to be careful, though. He's got a couple of them down pretty well, so he's going to be able to hold this off reasonably well. I like it. He's got photon cannons here, so those lings will have to do a lot to give him a run-by. He's doing his probe transfer. As we can see, Angelofsin, though, he's still got about a 20 food advantage. He's got the roach horn down. He's getting his second gas. He has Evo chamber here. He's getting a HydroLisk den, sort of a throwback to regular StarCraft Brood War. I'm sorry, there's this game called StarCraft. Have you heard of it? I hear it's big in Korea. Crack me up. Anyway, so ImmortaLisk just sort of poking out there. He's got to get a bigger army, though. And he also has to kill that. So he's got a forge there. He should be putting down an upgrade, though. Some 1-1 upgrades would definitely help him as we move sort of into the mid to late game. So he's going to need upgrades. He's going to need 2 more harvesters on that gas if he wants to do anything but build a Phoenix. I mean, even to build a Phoenix, he's going to need more gas. He's got a gas there and a gas there. Also unoccupied. Well, he's got 2 in there. He's got 3 in there. He's got 3 in there, but he's only got 2. He's only got 1 in there. So we'll see. Let's check the income tab. Angelofsin is a little bit ahead thanks to his, 56 harvesters. To our friend ImmortaLisk's not so many harvesters. Now, he is building that 3rd base there. So, would this be an excellent time to do? Build a pylon and warp in and kill that 3rd base right as that probe transfer finishes. But it looks like ImmortaLisk just plumb forgot about his little fella down there. We'll call him Steve. Steve the Probe. That's not very effective. The question is, will he fly over and remember that he saw a probe there? It's a waste of a Phoenix. It really is. That's just more annoying than anything else. So now you can see ImmortaLisk is still falling behind. He's about 20 food behind. 26 food behind. He's taking his 3rd base, though. So both players not really all that interested in attacking each other, just sort of interested in macroing up and lightly jabbing at each other. He did manage to get 2 more probes in his assimilator, Giggity, and he remembered that he had 1 there, and now he's going to build it there right underneath the Overlord. So that's not going to be all that effective unless the pylon finishes before the Queen can kill it. That will be interesting. The timing on that one's going to be particular. He canceled it. He used the probe to distract the Queen, but if he had just left that pylon there, he would have been able to finish it and warp in a round of Zealots. Now, I'm not sure how many gateways he has. I know he's got 1, 2, 4, because I can count. He's got 4 gateways going on, so it wouldn't have been that much, but he's building 4 more gateways and some High Templar and some Sonic Storm. So I like it. He's doing a probe transfer to his 3rd. Our Zerg player is taking his 4th, and he's going up for his 5th. So Angelofsin is like, I need more bases, and I need to put creep on everything. So his cancerous, tumorous, overlord, communist, Zerg bugness is currently getting ruckshot ridden all over it. Anyway, so we see the gateways all powered by 1 pylon. We see our standard Artosis pylon. Anyway, so now we see some High Templar coming in and more gateways. But only on his 1-1 upgrades. He should really double forge it, because he's about to see a whole lot of roaches coming at him. And now he's building a robo facility, an interesting tech switch, but we'll see. I mean, he's got it. He's got everything. He's got the foundations down of everything he needs to win this game. What he doesn't have is enough units. So what he needs to do in corporate speak is what we call synergy. He needs to take his disparate elements of his forge, which he needs to build another of, his Stargate, which he should be using more, and his bazillion gateways. I can see 8, 9 gateways, and then create a synergy where he builds a gazillion units all at once. But, you know, right now he's not quite there yet, but he's working on it. Let's check that work count. It's 79 to 64. You know, he caught up there, so he's only about, 30 food behind. But as we can see there, Angelofsin ticked up to 168 units just like that. He's got 34 lings on the way. So now we see those roaches there are about to come into that third base. So we're going to see our first major engagement of the day, and you went the wrong way. So this is going to be deadly. He's got to get those probes out of there. He's definitely going to lose that Nexus. Oh, that was actually, I was like, there's no way he's going to be able to keep that Nexus. But Angelofsin not ready to commit just yet with a couple force fields. He'd be able to hold that, but you might want to get those probes out of your army. There we go. So the first sort of minor engagement, not a big deal. Angelofsin, not a problem, retreating back to his base. And Angelofsin looks like he might decide to push in there. He could take this small group of roaches. I'm not sure what he wants to do. And he has blink, don't forget. So what he could do is he could blink up to this spot right there and go to town. But right now he's building a forward pylon. He's got 4 or 5 probes in his armies, though. Nice shielding. Ooh, size storms a couple of his own units. He should definitely... storms going down. It is a rainy day in Zergland. Puts down some force fields. Yep, and now he's going to take this, I wasn't even counting, 5th base, 2, 4, yeah, his 5th base. So Angelofsin is maxed out, though. He's in a little bit of a disadvantage, though, because he's got a giant Protoss army parked on his doorstep, and those size storms are just doing massive amounts of damage to our Zerg player's army. Now, he is able to get the concave, but storm after storm after storm after storm, my god, that's a lot of size storms. So although ImmortaLisk is bleeding units, it's not really such a big deal. Now watch that. Did you see our Zerg player just hop up 30 units? Yeah, that's a problem. That's what happens when you let Zerg sit on 5 bases. I mean, he's got 2,000 minerals. So he could throw these roaches away and be maxed in no time. And now we see a couple Archons coming out, more as a defensive measure. So Angelofsin has lost the majority of his army, but look, his numbers, 140, 130. It's not enough. So right now, Angelofsin, he needs to get back to mining on his 3rd and rebuild his army. You should really take out that hatchery, though, with the gold. I think that would be worthy. So right now, watch Angelofsin. He's 141, and he's building 4 infestors. There we go, the gold. There actually wasn't any mining at the gold, which I think would be a miscue. But look, he's at 160 now. So while this army has been attacking and doing a tremendous amount of damage, I mean, look, he's at 170 now, and he's building a greater spire. So the ImmortaLisk is doing a tremendous amount of damage and is really hindering the Protoss army. It's almost not enough. You know, how much does he have to kill? And the answer is more. He's out of High Templar, though, so without storms, he gets a nice fungal on there, and he's going to have to pull back. That pylon will finish, but he needs energy on his High Templar. So we'll see. Wow, he warps in everything. So maybe he could blink behind some of the roaches. That's always good, to blink behind the roaches and get the surround on them. It's always a good day when you surround the Zerg player. So ImmortaLisk, I mean, he's 80 food down, but he's still doing a tremendous amount. Let's check the unit count. Yeah, he's just got a bunch of stalkers. Not bad on the stalkers. They got 2 weapons upgrades. But he's mining on his 3rd again. Let's check the income tab. It's about 1,500 to 1,900, but ImmortaLisk just has not enough money. So he's pulling back in now, which is not going to help him because he needs the Zerg player. I mean, Angelofsin just laughed that off, rebuilt there, and he just laughed off that attack. So that's the power of the Zerg player. So right now he's at a max army. ImmortaLisk really needs to do something else. He's taking another base. He should really take, a couple more bases. Is really what he should do. He should he should break down his rocks, get his gold base. He might lose the Nexus. Doesn't look like it. There's enough stalkers there. Alright, so ImmortaLisk is he's doing alright. He could take it. He's got to watch out the Broodlords. So he doesn't have a very air-intensive army. So he's got a Stargate. So he could build Phoenixes to counter those Corruptors and Broodlords.